Hey Dream Drivers, welcome back to another episode of Dreams and Drive. Today we have a solo episode, a driver's ed episode. We're going to be talking about how you can use momentum to get things done for your dream driving journey, whatever that is. So definitely make sure you buckle up and tune in for today's episode. Before we get into our main topic today, I want to just remind you guys that I'm going to be launching something very soon, or it's more like an announcement. And I want you to be part of it, and I want to make sure that you are one of the first people to know about it. So if you are not already part of our email newsletter, please go to dreamsanddrive.com/join. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join to sign up. All right, so we're going to be talking about momentum today, but first I want to start off with the story, right? Let me tell you guys what inspired this episode. Recently, I had one of those days where I woke up with like a rush of ideas. I knew exactly what I wanted to do, the steps, everything. Like I felt that fire. But instead of acting on everything that I was thinking, I told myself, all right, let me think this through a little bit more. So you guys know when you tell yourself that, what happens. And by the time I came back to it later in the day, the fire was gone, the clarity was gone, the motivation was gone. Like I just was like, F it. I just want to sit around and watch Netflix. And that made me realize, how many times do we do this in our lives? How many times do we talk ourselves out of moving because we think we need to wait for the right time, more confidence, or a perfect plan? It's kind of like when you wake up and you have a dream and you're so excited about the dream and you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to remember it. And then by the end of the day, you don't remember it and you just say, damn, like I should have written it down. Momentum is like a wave, guys. It builds naturally, it moves fast, and it wants you to carry it forward. But if you hesitate too long, you miss the whole ride. So let me give you the flip to that. Today, and I say today as when I'm recording this episode, was one of the days where I decided I am not going to let momentum slip through my fingers. It was one of those days where I woke up inspired, I was rested. I just felt like, I'm not going to make today go to waste. There's a lot of things that I need to make happen. And sometimes you just have to tell yourself, like, I'm tired of my own shit. I'm tired of making excuses for myself. I need to make something happen. On my morning commute into the city, I allowed myself to just pull up my notes app on my phone and just do a brain dump of all my thoughts and ideas. I went to ChatGPT, my AI tools, and was just using that as a brainstorm session, researching things. I gave myself some next steps for my lunch break. I'm like, all right, you got this. This is good. Keep this momentum going. During my lunch break, I was able to really knock out some things that I've been sitting on for a long time and just using the idea of researching something to then have that inspire another thought and just a whole game plan for Dreams and Drive for our 10-year anniversary and all the things that I can do to really make sure that I'm moving this brand forward and not giving up on it. And one of the big things about momentum is that you need to capitalize on moving, taking actions, and figuring out next steps and planning out what's next. I felt good today, and normally I do talk myself out of a lot of things, but I said today was going to be the day where I said yes, and I follow through. And one of the biggest things a lot of us need to do to get things done is to say, I am not going to procrastinate. I am not going to leave this to another day. And imagine all that you could do if you were just focused on execution. So in this episode, I want to really dial into some actionable tips and things that you can do to make sure that you're using and you're getting the best of momentum, and how you can really leverage and ride the wave of momentum to get things done that you need to get done. So first, let's define momentum. Momentum is not motivation. So motivation is emotional. It's like that burst of inspiration. It's that dopamine hit that you get that gets you started. Momentum is mechanical. It's what happens when you act on that feeling and keep building. So you need the motivation to inspire your desire to do a feeling, but actually acting on something, then acting again. It's kind of like, getting that big push that knocks down the dominoes in order, right? Like you need that momentum to keep going. And here's the secret that I think a lot of us don't think about is You don't have to sustain momentum forever. You just have to honor it when it shows up. That's the biggest thing. I'm going to say it again. You don't have to sustain momentum forever. You just have to honor it when it shows up. So when you get that sudden clarity to write, record, send an email, apply for something, move. Just do it right then and there. Don't overanalyze it. Don't try to be perfect. Just start. Because action is what keeps the door open for opportunity. Momentum loves movement. All right? Momentum loves movement. Hesitation kills it. I want you to remember that as we go through some of these actionable tips, because I think that you will find some way that you can apply this in your own life. All right. So number 1, here are some ways that you can practice riding the wave of momentum instead of hesitating. Number 1 is catch the first thought. So when an idea or urge hits, write that down immediately or take one action toward it. Even if it's just opening a document or a voice note, don't let that live in your head. I did this today and it worked, right? One of the things that I said is I really need to, let me tell you what actually inspired it now that I'm thinking about it is yesterday I had a podcast interview where I signed up for a podcast audit, and this podcast coach, Adam S. of Podcasting Business School, he did a podcast audit with me live, and he gave me some actionable tips on how I can improve the podcast. So I was like, you know what? I know a lot of these things. Like, I know what I need to do. So I kind of made my short list of, okay, what are the things that I need to kind of put into motion to start to get to the next level for 2026? So I said, today I am going to act on some of that stuff. And that was the thing that kept me going. That was the momentum, the energy that I was going to build off of. It requires focus. And when I say focus, it means like sometimes hesitating occurs because you're thinking about everything else, right? You're thinking about, oh, I need to do this. I need to do this. But when you're trying to ride the wave of momentum, you have to focus and you have to allow yourself to go deep on something. And that might mean that other things that you need to do may not be the focus, but I'm telling you, in the long run, just allowing yourself to stick to whatever it is that you're trying to ride the wave of momentum for, it's going to pay off in dividends. So just make sure that you allow yourself to catch that thought, allow yourself to focus and get started. Number 2, make your next move obvious. So you need to set up an environment that is easy to take the next step. So for me, it was like, I know my morning commute into New York on the train is a good 30 whatever minutes. That's just enough time. All I need is ChatGPT and my notepad and, Safari on my phone to do some researching. I don't need that much. Like, I'm in a controlled environment. I don't have anyone around me. I have my AirPods in. I can just sit and focus. If you want to record, keep your mic around. If you want to work out, have your workout clothes on. Reduce the friction between you and the action. I knew that I wanted to research. I knew that the only time that I had to do it was on the train. The desired action and the desired environment were in alignment for me. Don't think too much. Just take action and see what comes of it. I was really able to map out some episode themes. And next thing you know, I was even able to reach out to one person to ask if they would be interested in this idea that I came up with this morning. So for me, that was a huge, huge win. Number 3, don't wait for a plan. Start with motion. So when I say that, we all know that planning is important, but planning can also become procrastination in disguise. You can plan your way to anything. You can plan your way for a plan can last for an infinite amount of time if you allow it to. It's funny because I think that planning has its place, right? With project managers, especially, you have to know how to put a plan in place. But a key part of a project management is also being able to know how to move a project and move that thing forward. So start first, refine later. Remember, done is better than perfect. That was one of the quotes that Sakita Holly, a past guest on the show, she she shared that gem, and it's something I never forgot about. Done is better than perfect. I'm a big proponent of this. The first idea doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be something, because if you have no first idea, you can't have a second. Let's say that again. If you don't have a first idea, how the hell are you going to have a second idea? You have to create something that so that you can get feedback on it, and then you can move on to the next steps. So yes, we said catch the first thought. We said make your next move obvious. So make sure that your situation, desired situation, the environment are in alignment. Don't wait for a plan. Start with motion. And here's one that I think people don't understand why. This is probably one of the biggest things when trying to ride the wave of momentum and really get things done. And that is anchoring your small wins. Every time you follow through on momentum, celebrate it. So today, I was just bigging up myself in my head. And the term bigging up yourself is like a Jamaican term, big up yourself. Basically means I was congratulating myself. I mean, I wasn't telling anybody, but in my head, I was like, yeah, you got this. You got this. You did it. All right. On to the next, right? You got this. You got this. Every time I thought of something, every time I wrote something down, I was just celebrating the fact that that even happened. These small wins are important because it trains your brain to trust that you'll act next time the wave comes, right? You're training your brain that it is a good thing that you're doing and you want to do it again because you like the feeling of being able to accomplish whatever that was. Continue small wins rather than one huge win is what really makes the difference over time. I say that because a lot of us are just trying to score these huge wins. I want a dream job. All right, but getting a dream job means that you have to look up 10 different job descriptions. Maybe it's revise your resume 3 times. Maybe it's read an article about said job and said industry. When you check off those smaller wins first, the things that are leading up to the big win, you're just giving yourself the practice towards what it is that you really want. But you need those smaller steps, and those steps should be celebrated just as much as that final step of landing that dream job will be. Think long game. Think seeing yourself as a winner consistently, which is what happens with these small wins. And then here is an important one, number 5, which is knowing when to rest. Riding the wave doesn't mean constant motion. It's about flow. You ride when the energy is there and you rest when it settles. Rest is what really allows the next wave to come, right? Any wave, what goes up must come down. And if you're constantly going up and up and up and up and up and up and you never come down, do you know what will happen when you get to the peak of your mountain? That fall off is going to be a crash and a burnout. I'd rather fall from the first floor or second floor than the 20th floor, right? I'd rather slide down gently, get that momentum, and have energy to go back up again. So think of that visual picture when we're talking about momentum is you need that up and down. You need that ebb and flow in order to keep the system going. Knowing that you've knocked out things in one day that could have taken you a week is huge. But you don't need that to be your everyday thing. Sometimes you just need to be able to clear out a huge block. I think momentum, riding the wave of momentum, is a huge way to just plow through writer's blocks, creative blocks, any type of block that you need to get yourself reignited, reinvigorated again. Sometimes you need to use that momentum to knock out and tackle something that you have been sitting on for a while. And once you do that, once you tackle that thing that you thought was so hard, so many things change for you. So in reflection, right? Here is what I want you to remember. Momentum is energy. It's divine timing. It's the universe saying, move now. I sometimes think we get these moments of inspiration, these moments of clarity at the right time when it needs to happen. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to respond. The clarity you're searching for will meet you in motion. I say that because sometimes we can just be stuck in our head just thinking no doing. Thinking no doing does not help you move forward in any type of way. You have to connect the doing and the thinking in order to get you to the next stage of whatever it is that you want to get to. It is a key, right? It's a key. It is essential when you're trying to think of how you can move from park to drive, neutral to drive, reverse to drive. It is the actual act of momentum and doing. So here are some things I want you to think about. Momentum is this magic window. Momentum is temporary and you need to act fast because it matters. There is cost of hesitation. So pausing to think it through can actually derail progress. Think it through and then go back and edit and refine once you've just kind of gotten it out of your head onto paper or whatever it is. Capture the energy. Quickly channel momentum into one small action. That's all you have to do. So today I woke up, I said, hey, I really want to act on whatever it is that we talked about in the podcast audit yesterday. I know I can change dreams and drive. Let me think about some key things that I can do. We will use the train ride into the city as the first step on this plan. And it worked. Build on the spark. So turning one move into the next, so momentum compounds. Like once I was on lunch, I was like, all right, I still have momentum. Once I came home, I still have momentum. I said, I'm going to, finally release a new episode that I haven't released in a long time. Momentum. I still have the energy because some days I'm recording this late at night. Some days, I fall asleep with the kids, but today I just felt like I had the energy and I had to do something with it. And then it's also important to remember, don't wait for the perfect conditions. Action creates clarity, right? Action creates clarity. The perfect conditions can come once you're able to just start doing. It's kind of like you have to start running if you want to become a runner, basically. Ride the wave, then rest. Rest is important after riding a wave. You are putting out substantial amount of energy, creative energy, whatever that energy is. You need to rest so that you can recover and you have enough energy when that momentum comes again. Now, during that rest period doesn't mean do nothing. You might go back to how you always were operating, but you now will have a new sense of renewal, purpose, whatever that is for you and your dream driving journey. You'll have something to keep it going. When the energy hits, move. Don't wait for a plan. Ride the wave. It's your momentum trying to take you somewhere. Remember that. I'm going to say it one more time. When the energy hits, move. Don't wait for a plan. Ride that wave. It's your momentum trying to take you somewhere. So if this episode is supposed to be about how to use momentum to get things done, the too long don't read is when you have an idea and you're feeling deeply inspired, go all in for as long as possible that you can until your body is like, all right, rest, you did enough. Let's see where you got. Let's evaluate this and let's gear up for that next round of momentum. So as always, guys, thank you for tuning into this Driver's Ed solo episode of Dreams and Drive. Remember, like I said on the onset of this episode, I am going to be announcing something special very, very soon. I want you guys to be the first to know. So if you are not already part of our email community, just go to dreamsanddrive.com/join to sign up. That's dreamsanddrive.com/join to sign up. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep driving. I'm going to add something in today. No hesitating. Ride that wave, dream drivers. Ride that wave. All right. Bye, guys.